Dan Koshland, I think you could say, was San Francisco's greatest citizen during his time. Somewhere along the line, he created the San Francisco Foundation. But being Dan, you never found out these things. You only found them out from other people. Because he was just, he was like he was on a crusade not to talk about himself. And of course, you know, I fell in love with the guy, let's face it. I just thought he was wonderful. Dan was the first person I'd known that was that totally committed to public service. So I think all of that rubbed off on me. The last thing he'd ever say is, "I'm your mentor." That it took me a very long time to figure out that that's what he was. I saw Dan all the time, and we talked about everything right up to the time he died. And the most sort of touching part of all of that was that one day I get a call. I was then at UC San Francisco. We had an Institute for Health Policy, and I get a call from somebody I've never heard of. And my secretary says, "Mr. Friedman is on the phone." I said, "I don't know any Mr. Friedman." I said, "Mr. Bob Friedman is on the phone." I said, "I don't know any Mr. Bob Friedman." And she said, "Well, he expected that, so he reluctantly said to tell you that he's Dan Koshland's grandson." And of course I said, "Put him on the phone." And then Bob came and worked with me for a year. You know, I ended up with a friend for life. We're talking about highly personal relationships between a mentor and a younger person. All we had to do was look for wonderful people to be mentors, and then look for wonderful fellows to be with them. Each generation needs to build on what the previous one did. I mean, that's how nations work. That's how communities work when they do work. And that's the only way societies can build. And with the Butler Koshland fellows, that's what we're doing.